All right, it's a brand new Friday. Here we are
Good
with the
morning.
main. There he is with the main man himself, Brian. Welcome to Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I'm John, JT, whatever you want to call me. Red Sox lover, Yankee hater, Dodger hater, all those above. But I'm here with Brian. How you doing today, Brian?
Doing good, dude. How's Vegas?
It is. It was good. It was good. I went out and did some stuff by the Spear, and I will say this: we got an update last night on the A's Vegas situation, and supposedly they're going to break ground in June. That's the word we're getting from those people. So,
Oh,
yeah, I don't think it's going to work, but did it work in Oakland? I don't know. I mean, I that's really where they should be. They should have closed that deal in Fremont, but I just think
how's it work?
yeah, go ahead.
Seriously, how has it worked out for the Raiders? What's it been like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. Uh
How has it worked out for the Raiders? I mean, I know they still suck, but
well, I mean, it's obviously been an improvement, right? It's a brand new stadium. It's a brand new facility. I mean, at the end of the day, the problem is that these team owners go stadium shopping. And the crazy part is that the liberal states don't give them a dollar. They tell you you got to bring all the money yourself. Like Stan Kroenke with SoFi, he got the whole 5 billion out of his own pocket. They didn't give him anything. But if you go, like, let's talk about Jacksonville, that city couldn't give him enough money to keep him for what, 7 games a year, whatever it is. Okay, I'm not going to get into the economics of it. I'm not going to, whatever it is. Vegas gave the Raiders, I believe, over $1 billion. They had to come up with $1 billion. I mean, all right, whatever. I mean, that's a civic thing, right? I just
yep.
don't think. I just do not think on any level the A's are going to work on the Strip. But okay, I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. Do you think it's a good move for the A's?
I think whatever's going to get them an adequate stadium, so be it. I don't like seeing teams move. I'm kind of one of those
Mm-hmm.
traditional types, you know. I think,
Right.
but if that was the case, then the A's would still be all the way back in Philadelphia.
Sure. Kansas City. Yeah. Right.
That was after Philly, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
So, whatever. But
I,
yeah, if it gets them a stadium, because I mean, how long have they been trying to get Oakland to come up with some kind of a deal,
right.
and it never seemed
Well,
to work out. So,
no, it never did.
eh,
And the thing is, we don't know who the bad guy is. Maybe they're both bad players, maybe the city is, maybe the owner. But I will say this, especially when it comes to the A's, if the city of Oakland was asking the A's to come up with, let's just say, $1 billion, I think we all know John Fisher wasn't coming up with that money. He's notorious. I mean, if they asked him to pick up the tab at lunch, I doubt they were going to do it. Right?
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
there's a reason, so many players have not stayed long term.
yeah. I mean, what's the thing in Moneyball where Billy Bean tells the guy in Detroit you got to pay for the soda machine?
Absolutely, and of course Dombrowski will do it.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he will.
Oh,
All right. Well, let's go over some of the topics in baseball. I'm not. I think you and I are more rational people. We're not the sky is falling Stephen A. Smith guys every day. But I think the Braves got a big win last night. It was a nice win. Um, Ozuna hit a walk-off. But there is bad news besides their record. Acuna is going to have his knee reevaluated. What do you think about the Braves?
I think their slow start continues. They finally won though this week, right?
Yeah.
But I still think they're going to, by the time it all works out, they're going to even out. They're going to catch up, and they'll still be competing for a wild card. But it's taken a little longer for them to come out of this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
slump to start the season
Right.
than I think anybody would have thought. Of course, nobody thought they're going to go 0-8.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they did, you figured, well, they're going to come out of it. It is taking a little longer to come out of it than we would have thought.
Yeah. Yeah, they have played three really exceptional teams in San Diego, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia. But you know what? That's your schedule. I mean,
That's the
you got to.
schedule.
That's the schedule. Philadelphia is still leading the East with an 8-4 record. The Mets are at 8-4, which kind of surprises me. Miami, I didn't know they still had a team. They're 6-6. And
Well,
Washington. I will say, I am glad. What's your thought on the Dodgers road trip? They've lost two series in a row.
I think it's great. They lost a series against the Washington Nationals.
and and I'm telling you, Brian, I watched that third game. They were this close to getting swept. They were down
Yeah,
5-4 in the seventh.
that's you know what? And that was kind of my whole thing when we talked about them in preseason and the first week or so. They're still just they still got to play baseball games, and they're playing against professional athletes. It's not going to be just they're going to win every single game without effort. Now, granted, 10-4 is still a kick-ass record,
Right.
and if they could keep that pace throughout the season, that would be unbelievably awesome.
Yes.
But they're not going to. I don't think they're going to run away and win 125 games or anything like that. But they do have some guys going down now too.
Sure.
Freddie
Some
Freeman's going to be out for a little while, and
and
that's the kind
pitching.
of the thing about the Dodgers is that you're talking about their depths and everything, but not all of their depth is superstar players.
Correct. You're right.
So we'll see what happens. Blake Snell's out for a little bit, but they have 18 starting pitchers on their roster, so
Yeah,
they'll
I
be all
think
right.
they've added.
They'll
They
still be
signed.
all right.
Yeah, they signed the best prospects out of Cuba, I'm sure, this week. We just haven't seen it yet. So I'm looking at the West. The Padres, the guys that you really enjoy, unlike, are at the top of the division with a 10-3 record. The Giants 9-3. Dodgers 10-4. I mean, that is just, except for Colorado, which God bless them. Good luck trying to find a win in that division. Geez, they suck. You're not beating Milwaukee. You got a real problem.
Well, that's where Atlanta needs to go.
Yeah, it sure
They need a
does.
road. They need a roadie to Colorado. That'll
uh,
cure. That'll right all the wrongs.
yes, yes, it's absolution and penance all rolled up into one. What do you think about our AL East? The Yankees are at the top, 7-5. Blue Jays 8-6. The Red Sox meandering at 7-7.
Yeah. Actually, I'm surprised we don't have. I would have expected a little more 10-3, 9-4 type action out of our division. The Toronto, they kicked the crap out of the Red Sox this week. Thank God they're leaving town. That was brutal. And I watched yesterday's. I mean, it took an error in the 10th inning to finally get a win in that series.
Right.
But yeah, that kind of surprised me, especially with the way the Red Sox were rolling coming into that series after
Yeah.
kicking St. Louis's butts all over the yard.
Yep.
Uh, and you didn't even mention Baltimore, the team that's supposed to, that's what happens when you don't have no pitching at all.
Yeah, that's you and I both highlighted we didn't know where Baltimore was going to go. They have one of the most stout 1-8 lineups in the majors, but that pitching staff, man, it's like a beer league softball team. Some point you're going to pay.
I mean, when their big off-season acquisition is Charlie Morton.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
and
come
that
on.
was. I will. I watched a lot of baseball this week in Vegas, and I'm gonna highlight a Yankee game against the Detroit Tigers, and it's a typical baseball game. Yankees are up 4-0, ninth inning. They get an out, they get another out. Then somebody for Detroit hits a single. Then another guy gets a walk. Then there's a bloop single. Next thing you know, it's 4-1. There's guys on second and third. The guy hits a single, and Aaron Judge comes out of right field and he throws to the plate. Now, the guy at the plate is only the third run. He allows the guy who hit the ball to get to second base. And I'm thinking to myself, what kind of stupid fundamentals is that? I mean, look, if you got even if you have a 50-50 chance, you can't let that runner get into scoring position. And of course, on the Yankee Network, you don't hear a word about it because that's Aaron Judge. That's God. God didn't make a mistake. The runner made a mistake scoring. Right? I mean, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this guy in the major league 6 years and not understand the situational awareness of you just look, even if you have a 70% chance, you can't let the tying run get into scoring position. Your thoughts?
Uh, well, considering there was 2 outs in the inning,
Yes.
as you describe it, if he's really feels he's got the guy out, I would go for it.
Okay.
If that's going to win the game, win and end the game. If it's the tying run that's going to score, then I would let the tying run score and
Right. The go ahead run.
keep
The
that
go
guy
ahead.
at first.
Okay.
Yes,
All right. Well,
that's how I would. But then it would also mean I got to come up from fielding that ball knowing I got the guy,
and he missed him. Yeah. Great.
and he missed him.
And he
So
missed him. And they of course, I saw, I watched a lot of the Cincinnati Reds because I like Francona. They played Frisco tough. They could have swept that series. They won the first 2 games. I think you were lamenting about Cincinnati, one of our preseason picks, and I still stand with them to win the Central. But they lost a couple tough games, all those 1-0. They seem like they kind of came around the other side, and he's got that team going.
yeah, I mean, imagine who's going to complain when their pitching staff only gives up 1 run 3 games in a row, right?
Right, right.
And you're going to expect to be 3-0 in those 3 games.
You would think so.
And instead, you're taking an over and you're dropping in the standings.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's brutal. So yeah, I think the Reds are still. Yeah, they're not starting the way we had hoped, but they're playing pretty good.
They are. They absolutely are. What do you think about the AL West? We got Texas out there at the top. We got the Angels, your surprise team. I give you all the credit in the world. I thought they were the island of misfit toys, and you said I think they made some nice, astute pickups. Nothing spectacular, but they rounded out the roster really well. What do you think of the Angels?
So far, I like that they're doing well. Now they're going to be a very fragile roster because, yeah, like I said, I think they made some good strategic pickups. Nothing spectacular, but there's zero depth.
Right.
So, and thank God Mike Trout's still playing. Dude's hitting bombs.
He's
He's got to get the
playing well.
batting average up.
Hmm.
I'm one of the people that still think batting average matters. I know a lot of the analytic geeks thinks that's a meaningless stat, but it's still kind of important in my
Oh,
book.
Brian, welcome to 1994. God bless you. You're still a believer, brother. You're still a believer.
But
Oh,
yeah, it was not. Angels had 3 guys hit 2 home runs yesterday. That's pretty amazing.
that is. Joe Adell really got off the schneid there. That's for sure. Looks
Hey,
like looks
take
like
it.
Aaron Judge is leading the league in home runs and runs batted in, so I guess we can forget his fielding faux pas. Kyle Tucker for the Cubs has got the most hits in the major leagues at 19. Jacob Wilson, which I don't even know who that is with the Athletics, but the surprise player who came out of free agency from the offseason was Paul Goldschmidt. I didn't think that was a very good signing for the Yankees, but obviously I was incorrect so far. He is having a stellar year at the plate.
Well, and I haven't really paid any attention to Goldschmidt. I'll be honest with you there, but I will tell you this: the guy is an opposite field. He hits well to the
Mm-hmm.
opposite field,
Right.
which, as a right-handed hitter in Yankee Stadium, that's going to benefit him tremendously. And being mixed in with that lineup, having some protection, is obviously going to help him as well because you can get. I mean, hitting in St. Louis, he had nothing.
Right.
And there are some players who will come to the Yankees and kind of have a nice little pickup, whether
Chisholm.
it's the
Chisholm.
yeah. Uh, but thinking about that too, I mean, I don't even know. Does the guy have a job? What happened to Anthony Rizzo?
I honestly think he's working at Amazon warehouse. I don't know what's going on with him. I would think somebody wanted to pick him up, or maybe they're just not meeting what he perceives his value is.
Well, his value right now is nothing.
He ain't making a lot. That's for dang sure. That's for dang sure, man. Right? All right.
And if he's out there with any kind of health, health not being an issue, he's not like hurt right now, so nobody's signing him. But if he's out there, as soon as Freddie Freeman goes down, you would think maybe the Dodgers would go pick him up or something
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean,
Real
they do
cheap.
that with anybody, right?
Sure. Guy wants a ring. Why not? Right? Let's
But
just go
what?
over
Yeah,
there.
I don't know. What else you got?
Okay, the Dodgers, they come home after only a week on the road. They're going to host the Cubs. What do you think about that series? Yamamoto on the hill for the Dodgers.
Let's go, Dansby Swanson.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you, I with Vlad Jr. off the reservation in terms of free agencies, Kyle Tucker's value just went up incredibly. I mean, he is the only free agent of note so far who's going into the cycle this year. And man, when
He's
you
the big
trade
one.
for a guy like that on the last year of your contract, you are taking a big swing at it, man. You better make sure you re-sign that guy. Good luck. Godspeed.
Well, yeah, and I think the Cubs will probably make a pretty good run at re-signing him because they do have the resources.
They absolutely do. They
So,
absolutely do.
you know what? Speaking of Kyle Tucker, I thought what was funny, the first two MLB players of the week, AL and NL, Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman. Take that, Astros.
Obviously, the last 10 years, you got to give the devil his due. The Astros have done a really nice job of team management. They let go of Verlander, seemed to work out. You know, and you've got to kind of work that line of you got to bring in the young talent. But I obviously they had discussions with Kyle Tucker's representatives, and they figured we can't re-sign this guy. We might as well get something for him with the year left.
Well, they've done that with all of them, though. They all those young guys they brought up. Carlos Correa was the first one to go.
They signed Altuve.
They did sign Altuve and they actually signed him for a probably less than they could have,
I agree.
or less than he
He
could have
gave the
gotten.
hometown discount, is what you're saying.
Yes,
Hmm.
and now he's giving away singles in left field.
Well, you know, yeah, he got him a couple rings, though. What are you going
He
to
did,
say?
but they moved him to left field, and apparently to learn how to play the outfield, he watched Aaron Judge highlight videos, and
Yes, he did.
that was the
He's
wrong
mentoring
guy.
him out there. He's mentoring him out there. Not every Brian, you're going to realize not everybody has found the fountain of youth like you and your beautiful wife. The rest of us age at a precipitous rate. And believe me, I'm aging by the second. God bless you.
Oh,
Yeah,
age, what is that?
I know. It's just a concept. So the Giants, who are having a stellar year at 9-3, go into the Yankees. What do you like in that series?
Uh, I'll take the Yankees to win that series, and the
Mhm.
Giants will kind of come back down to earth a little bit, but
Yeah.
it'll be a good series. It'll be a good series.
Yeah. There's not really a lot on the hill here. I think. Hey, you got any other observations about baseball this week?
Yeah, I watched a couple of the games in Oakland, Padres and
Sacramento. Sacramento.
The Athletics.
You just said in
And
Oakland.
oh, sorry. So one observation was, I forget the guy's name, the first baseman for the A's.
Okay.
That dude is one of those, uh, Philly Bean fines.
Correct.
That dude's legit, and he's got a pretty good home run count.
Wilson.
And yes, he is.
He's hitting
He's going to be a good player.
396. He's hitting
Yeah, he's
396.
going to be a good player, and uh, he'll be one that establishes himself this year.
You and I have this visceral disagreement. We're going to wind it down here, but that is just not a major league park. I look in the outfield and I see everybody on the grass, and I'm thinking, did the Little League World Series grow up? I mean, all we're missing is bounce castles and slip and slides out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, the MLB, they that's what they want, dude. That's why they play a game in Williamsport every year.
Yeah, but they don't play 81 of them, Brian.
And that's why they have a swimming pool in the outfield in Arizona, right?
Yeah, because that's the demographic where those people go swimming. The blue plate
Yeah.
special, and then they go. They have to have that access to the tub. That's as close as they get
I
to
mean,
water.
I mean, who the hell pays for? What do you got to pay to get that ticket? And then why would you spend the whole time in the pool not watching the game?
I don't know. I would be. That's for
I
damn
mean, what
sure.
is the allure? I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, it's Arizona, you know. They got one more title than
A
Cleveland
lot of
does.
people.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, right. All right, that's it for today. What are you doing this weekend?
I have a CrossFit affiliate owners gathering in LA. So
Wow.
meeting with a bunch of other owners and discussing business.
Wow, an entrepreneur. You're not just a
Yes,
good-looking, brilliant baseball mind. You're also an entrepreneur.
a little bit. And then
Wow,
Sunday we'll be spending the day with the princess, taking care of
awesome.
married people stuff.
I don't even know what that is, but okay, I'll take your
I
word
know.
for it.
You know, you're just living that single life, going to Vegas and hitting all the clubs.
Yep, hitting all the clubs. I hit the club at Subway, the Subway Club, the Turkey
Nice.
Club. All right, that's it. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Off the rails. We'll see you soon.
See you.